Well, we've come down the trail, working our way back to the trailheads. We came across the sign here for the Montezuma Fibre Company. One of the things about the park I like is it's man's efforts to try to take over the Montezuma marshes and use the swamps and, you know, conquer what was there, the natural landscape that was there, building a canal through it, trying to drain it, trying to turn it into farmland. You may not agree with what they tried to do, but the story is there, how we sort of use nature or use the land for our own best interest. The Montezuma Fibre Company is one of the, maybe the last gasp at doing that. There's a guy named Edward Kimmy, came up with an idea using the cattails of the swamps as pulp for paper products, actually like a stiff cardboard, and came across all these thousands of acres of swamp with all the flag, all the what they called flag was cattails, and he built this factory of sorts out here in the middle of nowhere. The canal's right here with no roads. They're probably using the Bermside Trail as a road. No other roads out here, just the canal and the swamps. He's right on the edge of this drumlin, and we're trying to work our way around here to get back into this. So overgrown now. See if I can get in here. Yep. Yeah, we'll go this way. So you end up with this factory, cement walls, just here in the middle of nowhere. It was put in use in 1906. Edward Kimmy came out of Syracuse, came with this plan. They started this gold mine sort of rush of buying swamplands, buying all the flag, all the cattails, actually in competition with Salve Process. Salve Process wanted to make paper to put their soda ash in, barrels. They wanted to make paper barrels, put the soda ash in. And so they started this sort of bidding war, drove up the price of the swamps, all the swampland. And they, Salve Process quickly, well, I never did find a factory. Find the deeds where they're buying up all the land, but I never did find a factory. But there was a factory they set over here in Seneca County somewhere on the sides of the river. If I can get in here without killing myself. And they, Edward Kimmy kept going. Salve Process went out of business. Edward Kimmy kept going. And he had a 10-year lease on this land here. He leased the land. Had a 10-year lease. By about the 5th year, he was behind on his taxes. He was behind on his payments. He was laying people off. And soon after, by about 1913, he was out of business. Factory was basically abandoned, shut down. They say the building was brick. Not much brick left around here. You do find a few in the ground. Used to have a boiler here. When I first came to Montezuma, I heard this folk tale about how the company who started the fiber making business, they sold the business to another guy and never told him how to make the paper product, which seems kind of far-fetched, but that was what I was being told. And poison ivy. And then they went out of business, so that wasn't it. Basically, they just, what happened was the marshes just flooded and they couldn't get the flag off the marshes, or what would happen is a dry year like this year, the marshes would burn, and then all their Their raw product just went up in smoke, and they just quickly went out of business. There was no way. They went back to using wood pulp to make their barrels. You gotta learn what poison ivy looks like if you don't know. And I just stepped into it. It's all through here. Leave the 3, let it be. I'm going to find out how my new poison ivy cream is going to work as soon as I get home. Otherwise I'll have it on my legs here. Anyway, really neat little place to come. I'm going to try to walk through here without killing myself. There we go. The Montezuma Fibre Company. 1906 to 1913, 14, 15, somewhere in there. Gone. Nice example of how man tried to conquer nature and nature won. The fiber company needed water pressure. They use a lot of water making wood pulp. So we have this trail called the Reservoir Trail, and what it does is it heads up this drumlin. Can't see the drumlin, but that's it up there. Up on top of the drumlin there's a tiny little reservoir scooped right out of the top of the drumlin. Hand dug. They just went up there and they just scooped out the top of the drumlin. Made a tiny little reservoir, probably a couple thousand gallons at the most, it seems like. Maybe 10,000 gallons. They pumped up water from the Seneca River, and that would give them water pressure for the factory. And that's how they were able to process their wood pulp into paper, or the flag pulp, they'd say, into paper. I'm not going to go up that trail today, but it's a nice walk if you have time. Goes up in the different ecology too, because you're up in the higher land, a couple hundred feet higher, and a whole different ecology up there. Well worth the time if you have the time. Today we don't.